So today we're going to watch Tour America. Now, Tour America was a six-part series made in 2008 with only one episode made in 2009. And they were all about the last episode were done with that really crappy standard definition camera that I've been talking about in this series. I don't the last one, the sixth one that I did, which is for Casco Bay, Maine. That was shot in high definition, but I honestly have no idea where it is. I probably still have the raw footage, but I don't know if I have a cut of the actual movie. So I'll have to do research, but we still have 5 episodes that we can watch. And so let's do the first one. We'll just kind of go in order. So what was the first one? I don't remember. It's playing Norcross Media. All right, I'm going to pause it for a second and talk about this logo here. The old Norcross Media logo that has the weird shapes in it, that's actually a specific property in New York City called One Lincoln Plaza. If you're looking at the building from straight above, like a bird's eye view, that's the shape of it, with the courtyard and a building that's in the middle of the courtyard. And I thought that we would be basing our company there. We already were getting our mail there. And I thought eventually we were going to be able to move our whole operation there. And so I thought, future-proofing I created a logo that was inspired by the layout of that building. But I ended up changing it after 2008 because it just looked stupid. Anyway, playing now.
About halfway between West Egg and New York, the motor road hastily joins the railroad and runs beside it for a quarter of a mile, so as to shrink away from a certain desolate area.
We're going to Flushing Meadows.
This is a valley of ashes, a fantastic farm where ashes grow like wheat into ridges and hills and grotesque gardens, where ashes take the forms of houses and chimneys and rising smoke, and finally, with the transcendent effort of men who move dimly and already crumbling through the powdery air. Chapter 2, Paragraph 1 of The Great Gatsby. When F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote this passage, he was referring to Flushing Meadows, Corona Park, here in Queens, New York. Hello, I'm Jan Major, and this is Tour America.
So my friend Brandon Geister did this music. He did a lot of music for me in this era. He's very, very good. I love it. I love this music so much. And you can hear some of the Tour America music in my channel trailer. I repurposed it. This is great. This is so cool. It's my guitar playing. I want to talk about my guitar playing aesthetic approach at some point. If I don't remember to do it on this one, I'm going to do it. Because I still do this sometimes when I'm just messing around. I could speed up the edit a little bit, to be honest with you.
As you leave Manhattan on the 7 train, the landscape Fitzgerald wrote about is nearly unrecognizable. On approach to the park, which is the center of our tour, one can view Old Shea Stadium and the soon-to-be-opened Citi Field. To the east, some of the historical landmarks that grace this incredible park space begin to appear over the trees. Then you arrive at Willets Point, Shea Stadium Station. As you exit the train station, you will find yourself walking along a cast wooden ramp, its terminus point, Flushing Meadows, Corona Park. Flushing Meadows is the second largest park in New York City, the largest being Pelham Bay Park in the Bronx. It encompasses 1,255 acres, was the site of 2 World's Fairs, and was the headquarters of the UN from 1946 to 1951.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Look at that. So this documentary got her own fan. We had this boy from the UK was a really big fan of her. And it started with this video. And whenever I got comments on YouTube videos with her, he was always there. He was like the first to comment. I forget his name. But yeah, this weird noodling on the guitar over footage. I did that most recently. I did that a couple years ago with the Lighthouse documentary on here, which is actually still on the channel. Now I'll just like commission music. I don't give a shit. I'll pay a musician to do better music than this. You'll hear that riff a lot.
In the 20s and 30s, when Fitzgerald was writing, this area really was covered with ash and refuse. However, when it was decided that the 1939 World's Fair would take place in New York City, Robert Moses, head of Parks and Development for the city, moved the ash and refuse to form the base of the Van Wyck Expressway and turned Flushing Meadows into the park that it is today. Behind me is the Queens Museum of Art. When the United Nations was located here, it housed their General Assembly. After they moved to their permanent location in Manhattan, the building was converted into the New York Pavilion for the 1964 World's Fair. Today, the museum still holds some of the original models and panoramas from the New York Pavilion. The Unisphere and saucers are some of the most prominent remnants of the 1964 World's Fair. Today, the park is under-maintained, operating on an inadequate budget.
I was about to say
Everywhere you walk, trash is thrown about, fountains are dry, landmark structures are decaying, and hoodlums and bandits roam the trails.
Still like that today.
Considering the historical significance of this 1,255 acres, city, state, and federal officials need to make the care of this park a bigger priority. The noise factor here is another extremity. The trucks and other equipment driving about the park to incoming and outgoing airplanes flying low overhead. Flushing Meadows has become an embarrassment. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can contact the Queens Borough President and the Mayor of New York City via the information at the end of this program to demand better upkeep.
Oh, we had a mission.
Perhaps soon, Flushing Meadows will join a select number of other parks as one of the greatest in the world. Until then, don't forget to visit us next time as we tour another one of America's treasured, forgotten, or underappreciated spaces. You decide.
Nice. Oh, the Queensboro President, 12055 Queens Boulevard, Kew Gardens. So I had a bit of a do-gooder mission on this one. I don't recall that whatsoever. Oh, Office of the Mayor. Yep. Oh, I called it intermediate music. That's interesting. Oh, and I had an actual date, February 1st, 2008. Or, well, did that say the first? I'm not going to rewind it, but Yeah, that it's so weird seeing a video that old and I still do certain things today. Or at least the whole guitar noodling thing where I'm not really doing it well, but I need some sort of intermediate music to kind of set a mood. I did that on a micro documentary for the National Lighthouse Museum about 2 years ago. So I guess if something stays with you and you really need something achieved and you don't have the finances, why not? But I think I'm in a zone right now where I do plan on actually commissioning just music, like original music that I can use as my own stock. Rather than using stock everybody has access to, I buy my own stock that nobody has access to. That way I have my own sort of intermediate music to use for my channel. What do you guys think of that? Anyway, that's the first Tour America episode. It got Jan, her big UK based fan, who would visit us occasionally that first year, and that's very cool, very cool. I forgot it was Flushing Meadows, to be honest with you. I forgot we ever went there because I go there all the time. And every time I go there, I always go in the summer, and the fountains are always bone dry. Trash cans are always knocked over, just like what you saw in the footage. In fact, last summer when we filmed the Fractals there, it was the same thing with a version of the park that you see in Fractals. Whenever you guys get around to seeing that movie, it looks exactly the same, only in 2K resolution or 6K resolution. We shot it in 6K and mastered it in 2K, but it's so weird that 2008 to 2021, that park is still a piece of shit.